Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, the future of President Joe Biden. That one is the one that y'all voted for the most. So I took my tallies. I went through the last video where I asked y'all to take a vote on what is it that you wanted me to do a reading on next. And I wrote down the little tallies. I went through every single comment and went through the tallies. And that one won by a very narrow margin. Very closely behind that is the future of Tucker Carlson. And then very closely behind that, actually, which I was kind of surprised to see, was that y'all have some interest in some astrological readings of like, hey, what do we need to know, or what's going to happen, or what should we plan for, or, you know, how should we handle some of these astrological events that are going to be coming up. And so it looks like those are, you know, fair game for future videos. But today we are taking a look at what in the world is the future going to bring for President Joe Biden. And if they throw in any information about his family members, we'll take it. I don't know. I don't know. So we're hoping that this video stays up and does not get taken down, because that would suck ass. Yeah, that would. So, anywho, as always, I'm a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and we take a look at the tea with the tarot. Good track record here on the channel. I'm going to pull up the cards, put them over here, and move this microphone right here. Penelope and her pinks are going to help me out today with this. So let's get shuffled up here so we can start digging into this and seeing what we can figure out. Get right up on into it. And as always, I think it goes without saying, but this is all alleged, just my interpretation, y'all. Okay, all alleged, just my interpretation, y'all. Don't shoot the messenger for what I see. If I see it, I will say it. I always say what I see. However, I cannot squeeze shit out of the cards that they're not giving me. So if they're not giving me certain information, it's because for whatever reason, I'm not meant to go there. And so, I take those parameters seriously. So, gotta do it that way. But let's go ahead and take a look up over here, see what we can figure out about the future of President Joe Biden. So, let's see. You know what's funny? Y'all, you know it's funny, and I cannot make this shit up. Y'all saw me shuffle this deck. I don't know how many times you see me shuffle like this in between each card I pull. And if y'all have been a part of my channel for any matter of time, what is the card that always comes up that represents President Joe Biden? Literally, the King of Cups. The King of Cups. You know that. If you watch this channel, you are used to seeing that. I bet you saw that, and I bet you clocked it before I did. Raise your hand in the comments or make yourself known if you saw that card pop down and you're like, oh, there it is already, the Biden card. Oh my God. You know, like if you saw that before I even said it, show yourself, because you're gonna alert everyone that you are the MVP of the day. You're a real one out there. Lord have mercy. I knew when y'all voted for this one was probably going to be some shit. That, you know, it's going to get interesting. I did the future of Trump a few weeks back, and people in the comments were like, I want a future of Biden then if you're going to do a future of Trump. And I'm like, you know what? Fair. Let's vote on that. And people voted yes. So here we are. We're going at it. The President Trump one was a whole mess and a half, and I expect this one is most likely to be a whole mess and a half. So here we go. Do I want any context cards on any of these? We'll get one on this. Oh, bless. And we'll get one over here. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Like I said, I say what I see. Say what I see. And I'm sorry, I'm sitting here wearing my gym clothes. Look at the strong little, no. I'm scrawny. It's okay. I'm trying to be healthy. So, what we're seeing here, notice first of all, King of Cups. They have him in the upright position, okay? So when my spirit guides put this card in the upright position, this is that they're not trying to shit talk the man here. So for people that, you know, want me to shit talk him, they're not trying to shit talk him here. So I'm putting that out there. In fact, most times that we pull this card, they come in the upright position. Every once in a while, they've come up in the reverse position to show something that has put him at some sort of a disadvantage. But we see him here in the upright position. So for whatever reason, starting out, they're trying to not, you know, throw shade at poor old President Joe Biden. However, did y'all hear that? Barkapalooza out there? Surely y'all heard that. I apologize. Anywho, so what you can see here, the interesting thing, we've got the Eight of Swords upright, which is somebody whose hands are tied completely. And we have the Eight of Cups upright, which is a distancing from something that would be considered emotional. And the Three of Wands in reverse of those ships are not going to come in. And so it's interesting that they are referring to him as having his hands tied some kind of a way, and he very desperately wants to separate himself from an emotional matter with his hands being tied. And whatever is going on here, it's going to have a hard time coming to fruition in the way that some people might want it to, because they have him in the upright and they're saying, hey, whatever it is y'all are trying for is not going to come to fruition, but his hands are tied and he is trying to get some distance here. And so this does out the gate kind of remind me of some family stuff. So, you know, I'll put that there. That's the vibe that it is getting, that there's, in terms of emotional stuff, the reason why I'm thinking family vibe is because of emotional stuff. Because if it was talking about something else, like maybe, you know, something he did or didn't do on a policy matter, or maybe something he did or didn't do that would be considered career focused, then I wouldn't be expecting to see the cups about it. The cups are much more of an emotional suit, something that is associated with relationships, family, loved ones, things like that. And so for that to be what comes up here, it feels like whatever's going on related to the family, so I'm guessing that this is about his son Hunter Biden, that something going on related to his family. They're putting him in the upright position, so I don't know what all the rumors are about him relative to his son. I'm not sure. But it seems like whatever the rumors are, if there's anything that he's quote unquote involved in, it looks like it's at the lower rung of things. So that is kind of putting more responsibility or accountability or onus on his son rather than on him. And so if there were things that were happening, it seems like his hands are tied and he's trying to separate from that. So there must be things that he's aware of, that kind of emotionally do a number on him, and he's trying to be distant from that. Like, I don't want to take part in tearing my son down, or I don't want to take part in, you know, something bad happening to a beloved family member or whatever. But it doesn't look like, you know, if there's some rumors about some really deeply nefarious and meshed stuff where he's just as accountable or whatever in whatever happened as his son is, that's not how they're presenting it here. They're presenting that, you know, they're like two separate people doing two separate things, and he may have some sort of awareness of stuff, which, you know, take for how you will on if that's good or bad, you know, or how bad that might be, but they're considering it as, you know, he's only accountable to himself, and he can't be held accountable for, you know, everything that some other person does. But it does tie his hands. It does tie his hands. And so, you know, kind of putting us in a weird position here, and I'm sure that that's probably kind of echoing how he would feel in this. But when they're saying the Three of Wands in reverse about something not kind of coming fully to fruition the way that some people might want, it feels to me that there are people who are wanting something to come out and prove that he is just as involved, just as at fault, just as problematic, you know, just as whatever, same level on par with his son, that it's unlikely we're going to see an upheaval that proves exactly that those ships are not going to come in, because those ships do not exist, not to that extent. And so there may be some things that comes up that looks circumstantial, implicates things, etc. I don't know if they've already come up or that they will come up, but it looks like that's probably the extent to which that will go. And so that in and of itself could definitely put egg on his face. I mean, look, we're seeing his hands are tied. He's trying to distance himself. Your hands aren't tied, and you're not trying to distance yourself if something's nothing. You know, there's obviously some awareness or knowledge or something there that you are like, I don't want to be a part of that. You know, that this is going to hurt my heart to have to be a part of that or see this happen or whatever. Like, obviously, that's not completely clean hands, but it's not, again, the extent that some people are really vying for. So just throwing that out there, that's what I'm seeing in terms of family stuff, and what we can expect to happen in terms of the extent to which he will get pulled down for the family stuff or held accountable for the family stuff. It's not looking, you know, super intense. It's not looking like he'll be, you know, exonerated in the public eye, so to speak, but it's not looking like, you know, oh, he's going to go down with the Titanic kind of thing on that from what it's showing here. Now, down here, this feels much more career oriented, because we're seeing a lot of swords energy, pentacles energy, very like career and, you know, about mentality, perspectives, you know, all of that. And the Hierophant card, y'all know, comes up a lot of times when we're talking political readings as like a government card, and a card about institutions, governments, mediating individuals or organizations or factors, things like that. And so once again, all of these down here are kind of coming up in the upright position. However, I find it really interesting that they're putting a Queen of Pentacles here, because this reading is about President Joe Biden, and they're giving us a lady. They're giving us a lady. And this person is a Queen of Pentacles, so whoever she is, she has, you know, some sort of relevance or power or whatever in her own right, and she's holding a coin. She's got something in her grips. And on top of that, I wanted to get a context card, and I got the Page of Swords upright, which is about like, boom, the light bulb moment going off, the eureka moment. I've got this moment of mental clarity, and it's going off on her. And so there's something here around this woman and this like moment of mental clarity, this aha moment, something of the sorts. And then there's a taking that and running with it. We see the Knight of Swords up here. We see this, you know, charge, take that idea and run with it. And then the government here. Not only is it a government card, but we're seeing that symbol there, you know, the two fingers for like, I give you my blessing on this. So there's some kind of a thing going on here, which, you know, it's weird to me, because I just don't know the fine-tuned details about political matters enough to know what this plan would necessarily be, but they're putting it in the upright, which is interesting here, because when you're putting something up in the upright position, you're not necessarily talking crap on it. And so in terms of, the guide's not necessarily saying, oh, this is manipulative and disgusting and bad and wrong and blah, 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 blah. They're not really saying that. But instead, they're just saying that there's some sort of an idea related to this powerful woman that people are going to take and run with that. And they're going to have kind of a blessing from the government as a whole. Other people that are kind of like, yeah, I'll co-sign that. And kind of getting on board with that. So that's very interesting, and I'm going to pull some extras on that. So let me put this in line so I can do that. We're going to pull some extras on this. It's intense. It's intense. I don't know what we're going to find out. We might end up having to do a extended video on this. This might be one of those that we pull extra cards for an extended video after this. Extended videos are on the Perk Squad for Perk Squad members. And so the blue join button down below next to the subscribe button, or the link in the description box, can get you to the Perk Squad if you ever want to see any of the extended videos or get any of the other perks of the Perk Squad. They're all listed there when you click the link or the button. And one of them, we can't forget, one of the perks of the Perk Squad is a video shout out. So shout out to you, Lily, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Shout out to you, Lily. Thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. So y'all probably gonna see an extended video, because I can already see this is kind of like, you give it an inch and we take it a mile from here. So some of these cards though, I'm looking at you, so in terms of the career thing that we're seeing here, that seems to be moving forward, the Chariot card, speaking about moving forward, this is a full stop. This is somebody's pumping the brakes and being like, hold on, we've got to take a pause here. Then we've got a King of Pentacles and the Empress card, both in the upright position. So, and this is different than the people we've talked about before. Here's a powerful man and a very powerful woman. So this woman's even more powerful than the first one we talked about. She has more influence, more say. She has more ability to sway people to what she feels like is a smart move. And so it's very interesting that they're bringing her up in here. These two are working together some kind of a way. And again, now or in the future, we are asking about the future of President Biden. So if some of these things don't make exact sense to right now as I'm filming, which is 6:22 p.m. on Saturday, May the 20th, if this does not make sense to what I'm saying right now at this time, it's because it's happening in the future. We're saying that this is the reading for the future of President Joe Biden. So this woman that's exceedingly influential and this man are working together after pumping the brakes to be like, hey, reroute. We've got a plan for some things. The Moon card, there's something already there, but it's hidden. When the Moon card is upright, that means whatever it is suppressed right now. It's not coming up and out yet. It is suppressed right now. The Hermit card, isolation, withdrawal, reflection. That's, again, very pushed down, hidden. That's not something that's, I'm out there, out and about, for the whole world to see kind of thing. And the Eight of Wands, discussing, communicating, and it being an 8 card, 8, tarot goes from ace to 10. 8 is pretty high up there on that scale. So this is like, we've had a lot of communication about this, a lot of talks about this. We're on level 8 of our discussions on this. Like, we've already done levels 1 through 7 talking and planning about this. We're already on level 8. We're 2 steps away from number 10, y'all. We're 2 steps away from the end of these talks. You know, that's pretty significant here. And so whatever these talks are, they've been happening for a long time already, and like, it's a plan. They're developing plans. Now, I don't see this necessarily as plan A. It feels more like a plan B because of the moon card being upright. You know, moon card, you see the 2 towers, A, B, you know, B is the second letter of the alphabet. I'm an intuitive reader, you know, this is how things go, you know, whatever. People who are like, oh, you're doing weird shit with the tarot, whatever. I got a good track record, y'all. I got a good track record, and the reason why is because I'm an intuitive reader, and I don't just stick with, you know, the exacts of everything. Although, technically, I have not veered away from the exact meaning of any of the cards. Just throwing that out there for people that like to be like, the fuck, you know? This is how it happens, okay? This is how it happens. But anyway, with it being plan B, still suppressed, still hidden under, as the moon card would suggest, this feels like, yeah, we're just planning for the just in case. We have to have a plan B here. So I am aware that people have written in the comments before, in my videos, about like, oh, I think that there is a plan to try to push President Biden out so that he will only serve this one term, because even the people who, you know, support him allegedly don't want him to have a second one. I don't necessarily see that as entirely true here, because that sounds to me more like a plan A. Like, plan A, we got to get this fella out of here. We have to replace him because, you know, whatever. I don't see that as happening here. I see that as a plan B. So I do see that. That actually is showing up in the cards, but it's showing up as a plan B. So it seems more like, okay, plan A is to go full steam ahead, put all our eggs in that basket, but let's be in extensive talks about what if those eggs go rotten? What if those eggs go Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall? What do? We need to have an immediate plan of action that we can all stand by, so that this will immediately recover in the way that we want it to, where we're kind of in control over that. And so I almost feel bad for the guy that they have thought so long and hard about this, because he must be aware, if they're in level 8 talks, like, he must be aware that they're like, dude, if something, you know, if you fuck up, or if you're not here, we immediately already know what we're going to do about your ass. You know, like, damn, you know? And that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. So, okay. What else, if anything, were we allowed to know about this? Let's get a little bit more information here. A little bit more. Oh, man. Alleged, just my interpretation. Y'all know what the justice card means. Justice, fairness, balance, legalities. It's in the reverse position here. In the spirit guide's way of delivering this means that there is something that will likely happen to President Joe Biden in the not so distant future that is considered, spiritually speaking, I guess, unfair, unbalanced, possibly messing with the legal way that things are supposed to be done. Stuff that, Ace of Cups in reverse, y'all, stuff that emotionally would affect him and or his family and or his supporters, negatively affect them. And Knight of Wands in reverse, this is like, the Knight of Wands is an impulsive card, but with it coming up in reverse, it's like they have, like, with whatever this is going to happen, and again, this part here I am sure is future oriented. Don't know how far into the future. It doesn't feel like it's, you know, super far into the future, but future oriented. This feels like there will be some sort of a, like, knee-jerk kind of reaction of being like, I'm trying not to rush into this, but I kind of can't help the fact that I feel impulsively bound to do this. Like, I need to take this reaction, but I'm trying to hold back. And so it seems like whatever this is, people will try to pace themselves on however they react or respond to this, but they're not going to be doing too great at that. Have you ever, like, seen a teenager, like, really try to keep themselves from acting impulsively or speaking impulsively, and you can just tell, you can just see it in their system ready to just go? It's obvious, but they're trying. That's what the system's going to look like when this goes down. It's like something's going to happen, and they're going to act like, we thought about this. We gave this time. We considered this so heavily. We really, you know, made sure we were thinking about everyone when we did this, and we thought it through, and yada, yada, yada. But we're going to be able to see that kind of like, I'm itching to do this thing. We're going to be able to see that through and through. It's going to be obvious. And so we're going to be like, no, you didn't, babe. Like, don't lie to me. And you know, this does make me feel sorry for the guy, and I've said a million times on this channel, and I'll repeat it again, that I am a centrist. I have plenty of beliefs and opinions politically. They just don't naturally fall on one side or the other of the two-party spectrum that we have here in the United States. I've got a few scattered over here, a few scattered over here, and I have been honest that I've not been a super fan of either President Joe Biden or former President Trump. Neither of them have floated my boat too well. So I'm trying to be as, you know, neutral as I can in both of these readings, and hopefully people can see that. But I do kind of genuinely feel bad for some of the things I'm seeing here, because as this reading has been about him, you notice right out the gate, the first things that came up was about family issues and his son. The second thing that came up brought up some powerful, influential woman. The third thing that came up brought up even more powerful woman and this man making plans. And then here's these plans. And then the next thing that got brought up was something happening in the future that's like, you know, kind of shitty towards him or whatever. And so I kind of feel bad that literally everything coming up in his reading that's supposed to be about him, it is about him, but like around him, you know? It's kind of like when you're in a room, like let's say you go to the doctor, and you go to the doctor with, you know, a parent or a spouse, and the doctor is like, so, you know, so for B at the doctor today, how's B been doing? And whoever is in the room with me is like, oh, she's been, you know, she's been struggling. She hasn't been doing well. She hasn't, oh, well, have you, you know, tried this? Oh, she doesn't do this. And I'll be like, did I come to this appointment? Am I fucking invisible? Hey, hello, I am here, you guys. Hey, and that's what the cards are giving me here for President Joe Biden, that this entire reading felt like that, like a doctor's office visit where we're talking about her without her kind of thing. So we're talking about him without him. Like, you know, and so like the humanitarian piece of me is like, ow, that's sad, you know? So some people might say it's deserved or earned or whatever. Don't know if that's true. All I can say is what I'm seeing here. and going back to the fact that at the very beginning, very first card, right out the gate, they gave me him, and they gave me him upright. So he's got some shit coming up in his future. He's got some things that are meant to be big scandals that don't take him as far down as what some people hope it would, but it does leave egg on his face. Stuff that hurts his heart and pulls his heartstrings in a lot of ways that he's going to have to sit there and watch, that he's going to try not to be a part of. But, you know, you can't sit completely on the sidelines about, and that's going to be hard. Then we're going to see, you know, several different entities of people doing the about him, without him stuff that have already been on level 8 of this planning that he's got to be aware of, that doesn't feel good. And then whatever the hell is about to go down in the future, that is considered unfair, unjust, not balanced, and possibly even, flirting with the line of being illegal. And it just, like, I kind of, you know, it feels kind of like he's gonna get, like, screwed a little more, betrayed a little more, sidelined over here, invisible over there, you know, whatever. It's sucks to be him. Putting that out there. Sucks to be him. I'm going to pull more cards on this for the Perk Squad. I'm going to do an extended video, see what else, if anything, because I know this was pretty, you know, comprehensive, but I want to know what else, if anything, especially any further details or something that we can know about President Biden's future. I'll get the rest of that there on the Perk Squad. Again, if you want to join the Perk Squad, blue join button below or link in the description box. If you would like a private reading with me, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. You can get a private reading with me. If you need any kind of a tune-up, energy healing, getting some cleansing and clearing, figuring out if there's anything going on within you that needs to be cleansed and cleared, what's kind of coming up energetically that we need to take a look at or work with or help with, then I've got Reiki Energy Healing on my website. I've got life coaching for people who are like, I feel stuck, I feel stressed, I feel disillusioned, I feel disappointed. Help get me on the right track, help figure out where things are going wrong or how to get it back, or, you know, just life hack me, please. Then I've got that there for life coaching. And if you want to learn how to read the cards in the way that I read the cards, then I've got some tarot tutoring on there as well. So everything, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, got it all up there for y'all. And as always, check out the B-roll here at the end of this video. I've always got puppy shenanigans to try to put a smile on folks' faces after sometimes we have heavy readings. And so I like to always end it on a funny, end it on a high note. So we shall do that. And percolators, y'all have been lovely. I'm always happy to get to see y'all. Got some more ideas here on my list because of y'all's votes. So thank y'all for voting. I got plenty of stuff here to take a look at for future videos. And then I will see y'all here in a second, Perk Squad members. So don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all. Apparently, Bodhi said, fuck all y'all. Son, you pushed your squishmallow off of the blanket? You didn't want to be a part of family time? You didn't want to be a part of sibling cuddles? You said, never mind this? Did you get antisocial, Bodhi? Oh, squeeze, stretch. Yeah, you stretch, Izzy. Look at you. You being antisocial? Are you gonna sit in Bodhi's spot? Are you gonna annoy Bodhi? Is this why he left? Is this why he pushed off from the island and said, fuck y'all? She's thinking about it. She's tried so hard to do it, but in a submissive way. She's like, let me reach out, but let me reach out very gently and submissively so I don't get snapped at. But I'm just trying to come and give you loves. Oh, well, that's sweet. Okay. You can rejoin the island now, son. Let's do it.